Do you know what the best part of being a programmer is? The fact that you can make anything you want. But sometimes, you don't even know what to make. I know we've all been there, and it is frustrating. But in today's video, we're going to be going over 10 projects that you can start building, ranging from beginner to advanced. Now, whether you're a beginner or an advanced developer, there's a project here for everyone. Let's start with project number 1, which is a personal portfolio. Now, I know what you're wondering. Who the hell wants to know more about me? Well, no one does. But a personal portfolio is a must-have for any developer. It's simple to build and a great way to showcase some of your projects, if you have any. You can start off with HTML and CSS, but if you want to get more advanced, you can introduce JavaScript, which can add interactivity to your website. As you grow, you can update it with more advanced features, such as more interactivity, animations, accessibility options, and more. I'd give the personal portfolio project a 1 out of 10 on the difficulty level, because it's really simple to start off with, and a 2 out of 10 on the learning value, because you'll get to terms with the basics of HTML and CSS and web development as a whole. Project number 2 is a calculator app. Now, a calculator might seem basic, but it's perfect for mastering functions and event handling. You'll learn how to take user input, process calculations, and display results dynamically. I use Java to build the simple calculator, where I use simple arithmetic for the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division methods, and use the built-in math class in Java for some of the more advanced ones, like the square root and tan. Here's a quick example of this calculator. So let's use an operation, for example, plus. Let's enter our first number, 20, second number, 15, and we get 35. And then it asks us for the next operation. So we can do sine. Let's do the sine of 20, and we get 0.34. And again, it continues. I'd give the calculator project a 2 out of 10 on the difficulty scale, and a 3 out of 10 on the learning value, because you're still going to learn some fundamentals. Up next, we have the classic to-do list app, which can be classed as the hello world of web development. It's a great way to practice your CRUD operations, as well as experience more with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So as an example, we can add tasks, such as get better at programming. We can add that task, and then we can see that it's pending. So we can, if we click that and then we say it completed, we can set it as important, so it would stay on top, and we can also remove the task. I'd give this project a 2 out of 10 on the difficulty scale, and a 3 out of 10 on the learning value, because you're going to be learning core web development concepts. Our last beginner project is a number guessing game, which is great for practicing loops and conditionals. The program will generate a random number, so in this case, between 1 and 100, and the user will keep guessing until they get it right. We can add hints like too high or too low to make it more engaging and also help the user guess the correct number. So this program will keep looping until has guessed has turned into true, which will only happen when we get the number correct. So let's have a go. So I have selected a number between 1 and 100. Can you guess it? So let's make a guess. I'm going to go straight for the middle. 50. So that's too high. So let's go to 25. And that's also too high. Let's go to 15. And that's too low. Let's go to 20. That's too high. 18. Too high. 17. So 17 is the correct number. It says congratulations, you guessed the number in 6 attempts, and thanks for playing. So it keeps looping until I get the right number. I'd give this project a 2 out of 10 for difficulty, and a 2 out of 10 for learning value, because you're going to be practicing your conditional statements. Moving on to our first intermediate project, we have the weather app. This project will teach you how to work with APIs that fetch real-time data from an API like OpenWeatherMap. It'll also teach you how to handle JSON responses, and also create a clean user interface. This weather app project can be built using HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So just as a little demonstration, we can type in a city name, such as London, and get the weather. Here we can see that it's 5.5 degrees and overcast clouds. We can do another example, such as Miami. We can see that's 24 degrees and again overcast clouds. So we can see that the API is working correctly. I'd give the weather app a 6 out of 10 for difficulty and a 6 out of 10 for learning value, because it introduces real-world programming concepts like API integration and JSON parsing. Up next, we have a personal expense tracker project. Now this is not only useful, but also great for practicing data storage and visualizations using libraries such as Chart.js. This project is built using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and we use tools like the Chart.js library and also the exchange rate API. We can use local storage to save or load our expenses, and we can add graphs to track our spending patterns using the chart.js library. So here's a little example. We can add shopping as an expense. Let's put it under $50 and the food category. So we can see the total expenses here and the total expense in other currencies such as the euros, the pounds, and the yen. This is done through the exchange rate API. We can also see a pie chart and a line chart, both from the chart.js library, and we can see the expense in a table here as well, where we can also remove it. I'd give this project a 6 out of 10 for difficulty and a 7 out of 10 for learning value, because it teaches you data management, user input handling, visualizations using libraries such as chart.js, and APIs using libraries such as the exchange rate API. Last on the intermediate projects, we have an AI-powered chat app. Now, building an AI-powered chat app not only teaches you WebSockets for real-time communication, but also introduces AI integration, sort of like ChatGPT. This project lets users interact with a bot capable of answering questions, providing suggestions, or even performing simple tasks using AI APIs such as the OpenAI API. It's perfect for learning server-client communication and exploring the basics of natural language processing. I would try to show you an example, but unfortunately my API doesn't seem to be working. But if I type in hello, the AI would respond with a message. In this case, it's saying, sorry, I'm having trouble responding, but you should be seeing a response to your query, so it should be saying hello or something along the lines of that. I'd give this project a 7 out of 10 for difficulty because it requires an understanding of WebSocket communications, and it also involves connecting to APIs like the OpenAI API to parse responses and handle errors. For learning value, I'd give this project an 8 out of 10 because you'll master WebSockets, which is critical for real-time applications. You'll learn how to consume and process external APIs. You'll gain an introduction to natural language processing concepts through AI-powered chat interactions. And this project covers the full stack, so the front end, the back end, and external APIs. Moving on to the first advanced project, we have an algorithm visualizer. An algorithm visualizer will help you understand how algorithms like sorting or pathfinding work, which will help you master data structures and algorithms. This makes learning data structures and algorithms more fun because you can visualize what the algorithm is doing, rather than solving a bunch of questions on LeetCode and still not understanding how it actually works. So let's do a little example. So I've chosen quicksort as the algorithm. We can generate a new array, so let's do this one, and we can start visualizing. So now we can actually see what the algorithm is doing. And eventually it'll complete. There we go. So now it's all in order, and we were able to see what the algorithm was doing and how quick it actually was. I'd give this project an 8 out of 10 for difficulty because it requires algorithmic knowledge, animation handling, and UI implementation, and a 10 out of 10 for learning value because it deepens your understanding of data structures and algorithms through visualizations. Our next project is a stock market analysis app. Now, a stock market analysis app uses real-time financial data to visualize trends. It's ideal for learning data processing, API integration, and charting tools like chart.js. So here's an example of how it works. So we can enter a stock symbol, such as MSFT for Microsoft. We can fetch the data, and we can see the price as a line chart, which is drawn by chart.js. And we can also see some other useful pieces of information down here as well. I'd give this project an 8 out of 10 for difficulty because it requires handling real-time data, it requires API integration, and also charting can be quite challenging. For learning value, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 because it provides valuable skills in data analysis, real-time processing, and financial application development. Our last project, which can be seen as intermediate or advanced, is a video game. Building a video game is one of the most exciting projects that you can take on as a developer. It's a fantastic way to dive deep into programming because it requires handling game logic, physics, and game state, all while keeping everything smooth and interactive. From collision detection to managing player input and even creating levels, there's a lot to explore, and it's incredibly fun to see your ideas come to life. You can start with something simple, like Pong or Snake, and expand as you go. Tools like Unity or Pygame make it accessible while still giving you the flexibility to add your own unique spins. Eventually, you'll start creating Minecraft or Grand Theft Auto clones. For difficulty, it's hard to say because it depends on the game that you're making, but all games will still combine logic, animation, and interactivity, which can be complex. For learning value, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 because it offers a comprehensive skill-building experience across multiple areas. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or an advanced developer, these projects are designed to help you grow your skills whilst having fun. Remember, the key is not just building these projects, but also challenging yourself to improve them. And if you can't build any of these projects, well, that's a skill issue on your behalf. Which project are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.